it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, your host, artist of comic books for 25 years, ever since 1993 when I first picked up a pen and a sheet of paper and said, I'm going to draw comics right now. That's how it all began for me. And that's how it should begin for you too. That's why I'm here, to help you realize that step in the right direction. And we're going to do another brutally honest portfolio review. And let me explain what brutally honest portfolio reviews are if you have not already watched any of the other ones. I have invited you, my subscribers, to send me your portfolios. And by portfolio, I mean 4 to 6 pages of sequential art, so your best stuff. And by sending it to me, you are allowing me to use your first name, which I do. I kind of shout out your first name. And also review it harshly. In other words, be honest with you. I feel like a lot of people do portfolio reviews and they see them and they kind of, if the portfolios require a lot of effort, a lot of improvement, I think people get lazy and just kind of disingenuously, oof, that's a mouthful, just say, oh yeah, not bad, keep drawing. And if they're good, if they're really good, I mean, but not quite good enough, people just kind of go, yeah, you're great. Have you gotten any work yet? That kind of thing. And there's very little incentive for a comic book artist or even an editor to do a good portfolio review. Frankly, there's nothing in it for us, but there is something in it for me. Clicks. Views, subs. So I'm happy to do it. And plus I want to entertain you guys and maybe teach you something. I think that's a worthy ambition. It's a worthy goal and it's a worthy cause. So that's why Comic Artist Pro Secrets is here. And that's why we do what we do. I want to introduce you to Patrick. Patrick, I think he said he's in his 30s. And he provided me with 4 pages of penciled artwork. Now, penciled artwork is fine. It's a little bit, I wish I could darken this somehow, but I guess I'm not going to. I guess I'm just going to hope that this turns out on the screen. It looks okay to me. All right, let's back up here and let's just take a look at what Patrick has done. What have you done, Patrick? Can I get this to blow up? All right, so Patrick is introducing a hero here, and I think, although I can't be sure, this is the back of our hero's hood and cape. This is very strange. Surrounded by, and our hero here is surrounded by television screens that seem to be reporting on him. Like here's a picture of our hero, and here's a guy with a buzz cut. And he's on Channel 5, and he's reporting on a sighting of our hero. And right here, look at this. Now, this is odd. I don't know if this is just the way you scanned it, or if you meant this to be a full bleed. A full bleed is when your panel actually reaches the end of the page, and therefore will actually get cut off when it's in print. So the artwork will go all the way to the edge of the page, and there won't be a gutter on the side. That's what this looks like to me, but then again, I see that there's a little line up here that also breaks off. So this looks like a bad scan. So anyway, it looks like we're reporting again, and this looks like 2 people in bed on top of each other, but that can't be it. That can't be it, Patrick. All right, let's see. It's got to be something else that I can't see. And here's another guy, and this guy is a news reporter. He looks like he's crying, Patrick. And here's another shot of our hero coming at us. All right, so basically we're introducing our hero, but we're introducing him in a very strange way from behind. And we're just saying, look, people know about him. The media's reporting on him in various ways. He's a man of mystery. There's any number of better ways that you could have done this, Patrick. I honestly, the way that you've done this looks like an elephant trunk and an elephant's eye. He looks like he is the Elephant Man. This cape, I see the wrinkles that you've placed in it. This looks like it hasn't been ironed. It looks like a wrinkled up bed sheet. not really the way capes hang. They don't really hang like this. They kind of hang in sort of, like I don't know, cascades. They don't really do this, but I see what you're doing. You have to you have to learn how to draw tapestry. It's very, very important. You have to learn where folds happen, where they fall, the effects of gravity on cloth. This right here is a no-no. I mean, all this is a no-no. It's clear that you really are not experienced in doing this kind of a thing, and yet you chose this angle to present your hero. I mean, frankly, considering that the background here is kind of drawn, like if you look at the buildings, you've gotten into some detail. There's a silhouetted set of buildings in the back, but these buildings are fully drawn and realized. These, if I were to ink them, I would just use straight lines up and down to kind of gray them out a little bit. You have the opportunity to use a silhouette here, a big black shape. I wouldn't use this big black shape. I wouldn't just silhouette this, because this isn't, I don't know, it doesn't look like anything. But still, I would use a big black silhouette if I were you on this panel. Maybe turn to the side so that we can actually see some kind of facial structure, kind of shadow. I don't know, something to make it look like a hero. And then we scroll down here, and it is daytime. Is this happening during the daytime, Patrick? I think this is happening during broad daylight. There's a shadow here that indicates that the sun is in the sky, and it is maybe 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. We have a woman here watching TV. This is good. Patrick has used 1 point perspective here, and you can see where his vanishing point is. You can see his horizon line lines up pretty well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty good. He's having a little trouble, kind of. I don't know. This is okay. It's all okay. I hope this isn't a car. This is not the size of a car. This is the size of a mailbox. I'm not sure what this is, but a car would be clear up here. Okay. We gotta remember proportions. When it comes to the horizon line, here's something to remember. It's not just people that hang off the horizon line, respectively to one another. It's also objects. So you know that if this car, this little van, is on the same plane, you see how her feet stretching back, and here's the back of the car. It doesn't really have any wheels that I can see. It seems to be wheelless, tireless. Nevertheless, they're sitting on the same plane, and therefore the back of this car is going to rise up and be at the horizon line in proportion to how big it is compared to this woman here. So how big is the back of an SUV? I mean, it is about the height of a human being. So an SUV is going to be right up here, as I said. I guess our focus is on this lady here. This guy catches my eye quite a bit. There are only 2 people here that I can see. There might be somebody back there. That might be somebody hanging out. This guy might be trouble. This guy catches my eye because there are only 2 people on this street, and he's one of them, and she's the other one, and he's very nicely rendered. He's right in our face. The panel... I'd almost rather he not even be there. If this is going to be a mugging scene, which I think it's going to be, I don't know what he's doing there. He's an innocent bystander that's kind of in the way, and he's distracting. It's better that she'd be completely alone. I don't know. All right, let's see what's on the next page. What greets us? Yeah, so here's the guy's disappeared. That guy would be back here. He's gone now. So that's, yeah. She's walking towards us. And again, we're utilizing 1 point perspective here. Horizon line right there. This is better. You can see the horizon line is right here at her thigh, and then the car is back here kind of line up properly. Yeah, it's fine. This is an extremely boring panel. I would almost just, I mean, just to even fix it a little bit, I'd just tilt her this way. I'd redraw the panel so that it's tilted this way. It's a little more interesting. These straight up and down shots, they do nothing. They do absolutely nothing. When the focus of this panel, the theme that you're going for is a woman walking alone in the city and she is in danger. We need to skew the perspective just a little bit to kind of give the sense that something is going to go wrong or there's something imminently going to happen to this woman. It doesn't look like anything, doesn't look like she's in danger here. Here we have a guy, and this might have been the guy that was lurking. Yeah, he looks like he's hiding in the alley. He looks like he was the Incredible Hulk at one point. He's got big baggy, I don't know, maybe not, these are just baggy shorts. He's got a knife, tiny little knife there. The back of his head is missing. And you want to go give him a little bit more skull back here. I see that you're using perspective to carefully rule the bricks in there. I want you to look at more photographs of what buildings look like. Very rarely do they do this. I mean, there's just, first of all, bricks get old. There are signs, posters hanging on them. There's debris. There's garbage. There are a lot of things that you can add, and not only that, just straight ruling the bricks like this also. I don't know. You should rule these and then get ready to erase them and kind of redraw them by hand, not by ruler. Knowing where the perspective lines are, draw them in by hand so that you get the texture of a brick, and it's not quite perfect. Just a suggestion. Also suggest that this not be a straight up and down panel either. I would tilt this too. I mean, these two people are about to come into contact with one another, and I don't know, they look like they're in two different worlds here, and they look like, even though this guy has a knife, there's no sense of danger here. He's pissed. What's he so mad about? He's like, "Argh." He doesn't have to look like this. I don't think he's angry at her. He's not, is he psychotic? I think he just wants to steal her money. Yeah, these teeth, this mouth, and this eye. Okay. Should we do a redraw? I don't know. Maybe we'll do a redraw. I mean, I'm here to serve. That's what I'm here to do. And the thing is, you don't have to have your characters overact. I want you to really, when you're drawing characters like this, I want you to think through. I want you to think of them as actual real people. Let me get some paper out from under my printer here. I should be prepared for this kind of a thing, but I don't know. Catch me by surprise. All right, here we go. So we're going to redraw this right here. We may redraw this too. I don't know. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's see. So we've got this guy. And he's looking. And I'm just going to use the same kind of angle that you used, even though it doesn't make me happy. Let me see if I can bend this a little bit. Okay, yeah. All right, now. So we've found our kind of the shape of the skull here. You can see that the skull is underneath. A lot of people kind of just cut the head off too soon, the back of the skull, the cranium. You can't do that. All right. Now, his attitude towards her isn't psychosis, isn't fury, unless he is her ex-husband and he's stalking her. But it doesn't seem like that's the story here. It seems like his attitude is one of shiftiness. He just kind of is planning on doing this crime, and I don't think he's happy about it. I don't think he should be smiling, but I don't think he should be grimacing like a Doberman pincer. Doberman pincher or pincer? Pincher. What do you think, babe? I think it's Doberman pinscher. All right, let's see. Like this. Let's give him a break. Let's give him kind of a little bit of a frown. But he's not, he's not angry. He might be angry at society, but he's not angry at her. And you've got beads of sweat on him. That's okay. You could do that if you wanted to. His hair's matted down. Yeah. This guy is a ne'er-do-well. Actually, he looks like he's in Pearl Jam. Maybe not now. Pearl Jam now, they look like old men. But I mean, back in the 90s. All right. Yeah, I mean, just, subtlety is okay. I would go ahead then, and I would also, since you've got shadows, last we saw the sun is over here, okay? So we've got some shadows coming down. I would go ahead and just give him sinister motives by, shadowing out a little bit of his face. He's in the alleyway. He's going to do something bad. And we don't really need to, shadow kind of denotes mystery, but also kind of menace. I would just sort of do this. Yeah. More or less. Okay. So that's the kind of, oh, and by the way, I would go ahead and shift the panel so that he wasn't head on. I would do this. Let's see. And maybe bricks behind his head. Like so. Okay, a little bit more like this. Now this kind of a panel, you can tell this guy's up to no good, and he's dangerous, and he's he's done this before. All right, so let's get back to this page here. Then we cut to our victim. I like her bored look. I love the bored look on her face. She is not expecting this at all. Although her face, you've drawn her head straight on. Her face is kind of sliding off of her head a little bit. You kind of want to take this and go, and just put it right back where it's supposed to go. But I like her bored mouth, and her she's looking off to the side. She's thinking about other things. And all right, this is fine. This knife kills me too. Well, not literally, I hope, but this knife is very interesting. And then we cut to a panel of her pocketbook. So we know it's like this guy's, okay, we've fixed that face. Board, knife, pocketbook. All of these things are going to come into play here. There's just no real reason for that. I don't know. Or if we're going to shoot the pocketbook here, like a scene of the pocketbook, it's almost like we want to kind of tilt the angle a little bit so that we can see, like the pocketbook is in the foreground, and then we can see just past it him lurking in the alley. That'll give a direct kind of motivation to this guy, which is I think what you're trying to do here. Just random closer-ups is okay. It's kind of strange. And then we have our hero. Oh boy, Patrick, our hero looks like an anteater. I don't know what's going on here. Is this a hood? Is this like a Moon Knight kind of hood thing? I don't really get. I'm trying hard. I don't. And we get a close up of his face here, I think. All right. In the meantime, he's reached out, and suddenly, just the background's kind of blocked out. He has grabbed the woman around her mouth, and he's holding a knife to her. All right. How would we? And then this guy. Then we cut to a close up of his face, looking to the side. I think that's his face. I really want. Okay. All right. What could we have done differently here? I really don't think that we need to show this panel here at all right now. I don't think we need to show this panel either. And frankly, I don't think we even need to show this panel. I mean, I would put this knife right here. That's a better idea. This is fine. This is fine. I would actually have him step out of the alleyway and have him confront her and say, "Hey, how you doing? Come here." I don't know, offer a line of dialogue that's meant to kind of trick her for a minute, and then boom, then he can grab her like this and pull her into the alley. But we're going to need to see shadows. We're going to need to see something in this background here that shows that she is not out in the open. She is hidden now. She's been, abducted into this darkness where she is deeply unsafe. This really does look like he is attacking her out in the open. Let's not forget, I mean, it is daytime, apparently, and it's strange. I wouldn't be worried about it. This is like walking around Portland, Oregon, essentially, at noon, and someone kind of attacking you. It just feels weird. I don't know. I really need to see more of his face. So let's turn the page and let's see what goes on here. All right, action shot of him running. You know what I would do? I would go ahead. Let's remove this panel here, and let's do this almost as though he hears something. He hears a scream and he tilts his head to the side. This looks like he's watching this all go down. Like he's watching this, and rather than, hey, he's up on this building and he hears a scream. That would just work better. He runs. Looks like he jumps off the building. Dear God. Whoa. All right, what is this for? All right, what is going on here? So he jumps off this building. I don't know what this is. Here, I don't see him. Is he here? Is he in this shot? This is a tall building. This means certain death. This looks like a bank or something like this in Manhattan. That bus down there, I think that's a bus. I don't know. I don't know. Patrick. Oh, okay. And then we got, so down here we got the mugging. Is this that? Is this garbage can this? All right. We got a long shot of the mugging. And then our hero comes through the shot here. Wait a second. This isn't our guy, though. This isn't our criminal at all, because he doesn't have long hair. This looks like the bank manager right here. And then what? All right. All right. I'm utterly perplexed. I don't know what any of this is, Patrick. I don't know what's going on. You can't just do this. Patrick, you can't just do this. This doesn't look like our criminal. He doesn't have long hair. It looks like what's happened here is our hero has flown in and broken up this attack. And then, instantly, the criminal... We won't get into how wide his nose is here. The criminal is, like, angry instead of terrified. I'd be terrified. I don't care what kind of a criminal I was. I'm just a mugger. And then this dude comes in, and I'm like, what, you looking for a fight? She's on the ground. Someone is opening their fly? There's some teeth. And I don't know what this is. Is this woman this woman? I don't know. Guys, I'm lost. I want to criticize this. Here's my criticism. Patrick, okay, wait a second. Okay. These are just randoms. These are just people on the street. And he's alarmed them as he's zooming past them. I get it now. That literally is his genes. This darkness, I don't want to know what that's all about. I think that's his mouth and his tongue as he's saying, yeah, baby. He hasn't actually seen our hero yet. And then that must be the tip of the knife. She's saying, oh no. So this is going to be perhaps a sexual assault. That's not great. And she's pleading. And look, he's like Bob from Twin Peaks. He's still like pissed. What's he so mad about? She's begging. And then over this guy's head, yeah. Patrick, that looks like a phallus now. Okay. He's like, okay. There's a lot of subliminal messages here. Her eye gets huge as she screams. Our hero picks the bad guy up. His pants are still undone, presumably. And he grabs him. He's going to choke slam him. He does. He choke slams him into the ground. The face here is interesting. I don't know what this is. I'm not sure what's going on here. I see his eyes now. Yeah. All right, let's see. What do we got? And he's holding him by his shirt. And he is going to punch him. And then we close up of the criminal's eye. And then... All right, Patrick, we have a lot of work to do, my friend. We have a lot of work to do. Yeah, you've got to work on your drawing. You've got to work on your storytelling. Your perspective is interesting. It's funny how, like, you're cruising with your perspective. You've got 1 point down and you're using it. That's the good news. Now, here's the thing. As the comic book artist, of course, the writer is going to turn in what is the equivalent of a screenplay to you. As the artist, you are the director and you're all of the actors. It is your responsibility to provide most of the special effects, but it is your job to tell the story and place the camera where it needs to go. You also are responsible for making your characters behave in a believable way. The screenplay is not your fault, even though I think you did write this. But you really are responsible for having your characters act believably and drawing them convincingly. You're also the costume designer. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, set designer. The penciler is everything in a comic book. In terms of, if you were to actually just say a comic book is a movie, what does the penciler do? I mean, we do everything. We do absolutely everything except for write the screenplay and do some of the special effects the colorists do. You need to tell the story better than this. I don't understand why you chose these particular shots. I don't know why you showed this building here. I don't understand that. I don't know why you cut to an extreme long shot of the crime happening here. I don't know why then you cut to an extreme close-up of our hero basically bumping into two civilians on city streets that are utterly devoid of any other people. And this character actually looks like this character to add to the confusion. Like, you really do think that he knocked her over and this is her on the ground now. And it takes a while to reorient yourself. Only because this guy doesn't have long hair do you realize these two people are completely unrelated to the story at hand. And it kind of makes this guy look like a clown, because what's he doing bothering like these two people when he's, I don't know. These close-ups here are very, very strange. very strange. She is not responding to anyone here. I mean, this is weird, weird. But if you wanted to do these inset close-ups, these are called inset panels. So this is the large panel, and then these little panels that are inside of a large panel are called insets. So if you wanted to do these inset panels, it would be helpful to show the relation of the bad guy to the woman in this scene. And right now we don't know where he is. Is he hovering above her? Is he clear over to the side? Is he way over here? You might want to just, this is kind of a cheesy shot, but show the silhouettes of his legs here from behind. I don't know. I mean, any number of things to suggest that he is basically hovering right over her and he's menacing her. I mean, as it stands, again, the storytelling is very strange. You've got him running across the building, jumping off of the building, and then apparently he's falling off of the building, but he's way up here still, and I don't know, and then like he's gonna land here, I guess, and they're way back there, but no, boom, there he is. See, none of it really connects, none of it makes any sense. These shots of her pleading for her life and him being Bob from Twin Peaks, again, unnecessary. This is strange, very strange. The hood, you've got to learn how to draw a hood because this looks like a dong. Sorry. And I don't know. And then I think what this is you get a close-up of his eye, and then he punches his eye, like he's punched him right in the eye, and this is his eye closing. And that's the last thing he sees is the fist. This doesn't work at all. I mean, you don't see through your eye. Like your eye is deep in your skull and you see your eyelids. Like you just don't, that doesn't make any sense. You don't see through your eyelids, you see the world. Your eye bulges out past your eyelids. Yeah, we've got some work to do, Patrick. I'm glad you're drawing pages. I like to see all these sequentials. Each one of these panels took a long time to draw, and that's cool. You need to work on your storytelling. You need to work on your figure drawing. Your storytelling is your number one problem. That's what I have discerned from this. Storytelling. Watch some Hitchcock movies and listen to the commentary tracks on them, and just listen to film scholars talk about why Hitchcock chose to use the shots he did for these scenes. He was a master of storytelling, and I used to watch his commentary tracks and listen to actually Hitchcock talk himself about his own work, and just glean, how where you put the camera and how you present these characters really says a lot subliminally about your characters and how the audience is supposed to relate to them. I think that would be helpful for you. Doing comics is not unlike making a movie. You do have to bear all of those things in mind. So thank you for sending your submission. This is Brutally Honest Portfolio Reviews, and keep them coming. I mean, I'm still getting a lot of portfolio submissions. As I said, if you would like me to review yours, you can either email it to me at I'll give you my email address. It's Ethan, ETHAN, 12032 at gmail.com. You can reach me there. Or you can just DM it, direct message me 4 to 6 pages via Twitter at Ethan Van Sciver, and I'd appreciate it. I'll just choose them at random next time I feel like doing a Brutally Honest portfolio review, and we'll go through it together. This is all about doing comics. There are things that there are things that you can pick up on your own, and then there are other things that it really helps to have someone else kind of instruct you about. So I'm here to help. All right, guys, Comic Artist Pro Secrets 2018. See you later.
in the ATL. That's my homeboy. Watch your back if you're gonna walk alone, boy. Cause everybody in the homeboys tryna get rich. You could get hit even if you know 'em, boy. We the kings of the South. Pies in the oven, grills in the mouths. Count stacks is a usual norm. College Park, Bank here, what a hustle.